Classified survivor debriefing. Operation Lycaon 6, Antarctica subglacial excavation. June 2022. Transcribed from oral report by Lieutenant Mark Granger, dishonorably discharged. No other survivors. They didn't tell us what we were walking into. They said they needed eyes on the ground. There'd be ruins. Maybe a Cold War base, maybe alien tech. They flew us in quiet black choppers, no markings. The choppers dropped us at the Weddell Ice Shelf, 40 miles past the edge of any registered base. They called it the Bite, a hole, deep and old. Laser cut smooth, like something had melted downward fast. At the bottom, a dome, ice encased, black stone. Silent as a tomb and just as cold. It was sealed. Or it had been until our thermal drill cracked it. The chamber hissed open, and the air inside bled outward, thick and wet, not like gas, like something exhaled after being buried alive. We had 11 on the team, 6 military, 4 civilian researchers, 1 CIA spook with no name and mirrored glasses. They called the structure a subterranean vault. But we weren't the first ones in. There were claw marks on the inside of the hatch. Trying to get out. Private Alvarez disappeared first. 1 minute he was walking point. The next, static, muffled scream, camera fried. We found blood on the ceiling, chunks of jawbone still warm. Then came the sound, like folding sheet metal, wet and sharp. The spook pulled rank. Lock down, form a perimeter. We did. It didn't help. Something moved in the dark. It was tall, too tall, with skin like burnished stone, and limbs that folded twice as they moved. Not walking, not crawling, something in between. It didn't blink, didn't breathe. It was too still until it wasn't. We found the civilians later, or what was left. Dr. Kwan's face had been cored out like a grapefruit. Eyes gone, skull still twitching. Mallory was in pieces laid out on a stainless slab that hadn't been there before. That thing, it studied us. Took us apart. And it left the mess like a message. We unloaded everything we had. Our rounds barely slowed it. Hollow points passed through like fog. Flamethrower sent it screeching, but not dying. We lost Jenkins to friendly fire, point blank, panic. Sergeant Davis stayed behind to light the charges when we found an elevator shaft leading deeper. His last words were, "It's not alone." Then silence. We descended. 4 left, me, CIA, Carter, and Holt. It was colder, but we were sweating, breathing like hunted animals. The lower chamber wasn't built, it was grown. Tubes in the walls like arteries, residue dripping like mucus. The smell was like rotten sugar and bleach, and they were waiting. 3 of them this time, bigger, their limbs snapped forward like whips. One grabbed Holt, peeled his armor like foil, and drank the noise out of him. He didn't scream, just gurgled. Carter lost it, bolted. We heard him firing, then gasping, then crunching. The CIA guy turned to me and said, "They weren't supposed to wake up." I demanded answers. He just looked at me with those dead mirror lenses and said, "The Cold War never ended. We just buried what we couldn't kill." Then he alone walked down the adjacent corridor. It wasn't long before erratic pistol fire echoed back, followed by silence. I ran. I knew where the breaching rig was. I knew there were explosives we hadn't used. I wired the whole damn shaft. I climbed. I heard them following, just above, always just out of sight. I triggered the blast mid-ascent. Tunnel collapsed. But not all the way. They found me 14 hours later, frostbitten, bleeding, eyes ruptured from overexposure. I couldn't speak for a week. They told me it was a cave-in, that I imagined it, that my team was lost in a structural collapse. But I still hear the clicking in my sleep. And sometimes when I close my eyes and breathe real slow, I can feel the air change around me. We had opened a hellish freezer and some monsters remember the warmth.